and welcome to the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and this is episode 76. This is where I come to chat all about my knitting, crafting, other stuff, sometimes life bits, sometimes business bits, all the things that is going on around here. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. If you are a new viewer, hi! Thanks for coming! I am just a rambler in general, so if it's not the sort of podcaster that you like to watch, then sorry, probably not going to be into me. I'm not wearing anything weird and wonderful today. Usually I wear my nerdy clothes. I say that, boring grey vest top. I am wearing Mickey and Minnie cupcake leggings because it can't be that boring, but yeah, boring upper half for you guys this week. I have a finished object, a whip, a hoe, a bunch of things that I brought back from Unravel Festival earlier in the year to show you guys, which I hope you will enjoy going through with me. And then after I have talked about all the knitting stuff today and yarny stuff today, I will be talking a little bit about East Anglia Yarn Festival, my life and what's gone on this last week, and my business and what I have at the moment and stuff that's going on. So I will tell you when I get to those points near the end. If you'd rather just stay for the crafting content at the beginning, I will tell you when that bit is sort of done. Anyway, I've just realised I'm not wearing any makeup. Didn't realise that until I fully looked at my face. That was an error. This is episode 76. I'm sure I've said that already. Today is Tuesday the 3rd of August. Where is 2021 going? It's going so fast. If you haven't been here before, I'm Laura, as I'm sure I've already said, and I am coming to you from the most easterly town in England, in the United Kingdom, and I live here with my husband, my 4-year-old daughter, my 1-year-old son, my very old cat, and a whole lot of yarn. You can find me on Instagram as The Lonely Knitter, and my website is craftersbalm.co.uk. All of the details will be below. Everything that I talk about today, it's where you can find me, bits and bobs and things like that. So without further ado, I am going to crack on with, let's start with finished objects. This is not something I thought I was going to have. It started because Ellie, I was upstairs, my little girl wanted the longest story in the world. It's the Beauty and the Beast book. Read to her for her bedtime story the other night, and she likes to turn the pages so I can knit while I read it to her. And I had cotton and I had a set of needles, and I didn't have my project basket upstairs. In fact, I think it was out here in the garage. So I cast on a dishcloth. And it was the fastest dishcloth in the world. It's not massive, and it is just one of those. I used 5mm needles. I used this yarn, which I have already lost the ball band for, but it's the psychedelic colourway of Sugar and Cream, which is an Aran weight cotton yarn. And I think my friend Sophie sent this to me. I might be wrong. But it's been sat in my cotton stash, which is on top of my wardrobe, just staring at me for ages. So I grabbed that down and literally cast on 3 stitches and then knit one. Then the second stitch I'd knit into the front and back of the stitch and then knit to the end. And I did that every row until I got to 40 stitches, and then I knit a couple of rows, and then I did knit 1, knit 2 together, knit until the end. Every row until I only had 3 stitches, and then I cast them off. So it's the simplest dishcloth in the entire world, and yeah, it's done, and I've even woven in the ends. Who even am I? So I quickly wove the ends in. I knit them with these boy needles, which I actually bought in Walmart when I was in America on a holiday, because I didn't have time to find a yarn shop because we were on a sort of family holiday with my husband's family, and it wasn't in the schedule, and it was a very busy holiday. And we went to Walmart and I was like, they have yarn and they have needles. And yes, it was red heart yarn and metal straights, which isn't usually my crack, but I was just up for souvenir. So these are perfect for the odd dishcloth. So I'm hoping to maybe crack one of these out a week. I have said that so many times in the history of my life, I can't even tell you how many times it's been. The enthusiasm to knit dishcloths is there. The actual follow through on that never seems to happen, which is really bad because I have lots of lovely yarn. I've wanted to do this for ages, and I need to get working through that cotton that I've been sent. So I have one. Ellie saw the yarn and went, "That's the most beautiful thing in the entire world." I was like, "Is it?" "Yes, mummy." I was like, "Oh, that one can be for you then." So yeah, dishcloth for Ellie. Very small finished object, but I'll take what I can get. My next thing I want to show you is a hoe, a half object, and that is my sock. I did say I would try and finish this sock for this week, and I've managed to do it. So it's just a plain vanilla sock, and it's sitting on one of my stash enhancement things that I will talk about in a little while. And this is the August or the July and August self-striping colourway. So if you don't know already, I run a self-striping sock club throughout the year on my website, and this yarn is available for July and August only, and then I will never dye this exact colourway, everything again. There was a colourway for January and February, colourway for March and April, colourway for May and June. This is the colourway for July and August, and then at the start of September the next colourway will come out. But yeah, this one is a blue and sort of dark pink, and they meld together to create some lilacs as well, and purples. And then you have the option, you get 100 grams of the main colourway, and you have the option of no mini skein, or you can choose a pink one or a blue one, or both the pink and blue. So when I'm going to cast on the next one this week. Not promising to finish it because second sock syndrome is a real thing. But I'm definitely going to put the blue in for the heel and the pink in for the toe, so that they're little matchy-matchy but not completely matchy-matchy. So yeah, I have a hoe. I can't guarantee that I will have a faux pair of socks next week because that's just not me. But yeah. Okay, the only other thing that I have worked on this week, which is bizarre because normally I would not be this committed, but I love this project more than I can even say, is my Lay Family Yarn Rainbow Chronicles blanket. Oh, I love it so much. So I put in a stitch, that's the wrong side, I'm showing you the wrong side. Oh, I love it so much. I put in a stitch marker where I was last week, so you can see here. I'm not going to turn that round because it has a rude word on it. But this is where I was last week, and I finished that row and then managed to get 4 more rows of shells done, or box stitch, because it is box stitch, but I think they look like shells. So yeah, I've now finished, this was January, and then when this light one, where this light one is, that's the start of February. So all the way up to the dark red, that's February. And then I have just finished the first colourway for March. So you can see March is now underway, and I've completely finished. I've literally got this much left of the first colour from March. So I've got 4 more colours to work through from March. And then I have April. And then I have to wait for the repeats of May and June, because those are the 2 that I'm missing, to buy those. And then I can carry on, because I have July, August and September. July, August, September. Yes, I have July and August and September already in my basket. So this has been happening this week. I am not sure. I would like to work on this a bit more this week, but I'm going to, I think I said this last week, but I didn't do it. I have a project bag above my head with a half-finished Stephen West shawl in, more than half finished, I think, Stephen West shawl in. So I'm going to pull that out this week and try and get a bit of work done on that. So this may not get as much work this week, just because I'm going to try and finish a few things. It keeps me going to have things finishing, and this is a blanket. It's going to be a while before it's finished, but it's a testament to how lovely this yarn is that I've actually carried on as much as I have this week, because blankets tend to languish. I get like a week of, yes, I'm doing that, and then I put it down for a while and then need to have a break before I find the enthusiasm again. I'm not dropping the enthusiasm on this blanket. I love it so much. I love that stitch pattern. And it's the Crochet Box Stitch. And I found a tutorial on YouTube, and that's what I followed. I didn't have a pattern per se, like for a blanket, but I just used this tutorial and cast on like 30 foundation chain to start with. I will link it below. I linked it last week as well, just in case you are interested in the exact video that I used. So those are all the things that I've worked on this week, and next I'm going to show you stash enhancement. So I haven't had anything delivered this week. I have ordered something. It's not here yet. That's not because it's delayed, just because it genuinely, I've only just ordered it. But I thought I would show you the haul that I brought back from Unravel Festival earlier this year. So those of you that have watched me before may know that I vended at Unravel Festival at Farnham Maltings earlier this year. It was such an honour to be picked to vend, and I had the best time. I was on a stall. My lovely friend Sharon helped me on my stall for the weekend, and we just had the best time, and the other vendors were lovely, and it was the nicest weekend. And I haven't really podcasted a lot since then, so I haven't had the opportunity to show you guys what I got. So I'm going to have a little walk through. I did not go crazy. Actually really proud of myself for not going crazy. But I'm just going to show you what I've got. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is from Salina Jane Art, and I will link every maker below, and I will put a post up on Instagram with the details from this podcast, and that will tag all of the makers that I've spoken about on there as well. So I bought this amazing piece of artwork from Salina Jane Art. I don't know if you can see that. It's a knit night basically. I think it's actually Salina's knit night. I might be wrong there. I might be dreaming that she said that. But it says, when friends come together to knit in a group, laughter's lassoed and infused in each loop. And I just thought this was so beautiful. It's going in a frame. I haven't put it in one yet because it's been in a pile to talk to you guys about. But I'm going to put it in a frame this evening and pop it up on my wall. I already have the hook up there for it to go on. And it's just so pretty and so nice. And I just thought it would be that it's so detailed as well. The level of detail is absolutely amazing. But I just thought it would be fabulous to be up in here when I'm in here working all on my own, to have a little reminder that I'm definitely not on my own. I have some amazing knitting friends now, and some virtual knit nights throughout the week, and yeah, just I'm not on my own. So I thought that's perfect to go up on the wall in here. So that's Salina Jane Art, and she's got a website, she's on Etsy and Instagram and Facebook, all as Salina Jane Art, and it says illustrator, artist, printmaker and knitter. So check her out because she makes gorgeous stuff. The next thing that I'm going to show you is my sock blockers. So I bought a pair of sock blockers from Ainsworth Print, and these are the rabbit sock blockers, large UK 7 to 8 size, because I have great big size 7 clompers, so I wanted to have sock blockers that were really accurate to my feet. And they are FSC approved birch plywood with a beeswax finish from the Knitting Shed. So I bought these from the Knitting Shed, I think. Or was it Ainsworth Print? No, it was the Knitting Shed. But yeah, Ainsworth Print blockers, and they are bunnies and they are so cute. And I had heard, I don't know if they're just different brands and multiple people make bunny blockers, but I had heard a few other people now saying that they have bunny blockers that haven't got a finish on them and are like they snag on things on the edge. These ones don't do that. So the ones from the Knitting Shed that I have they've obviously been sanded and treated, and yeah, they've got their beeswax finish and they are so smooth, it's unbelievable. I don't get any snag at all, and they were tied together with a lovely little bit of like a Liberty print ribbon. But yeah, I bought a pair. You could buy them in single or in pairs, but I bought a pair because I have 2 feet. I wanted a pair. But yeah, I bought these from Unravel and I love them. I have got other blockers. There are the same sort of wood but haven't been treated sometimes do get a little bit snaggy, but also they're nowhere near as cute as this. So that was my next purchase. The next thing that I'm going to show you is yarn. I only bought yarn from one stall. What? Maybe it was something to do with the fact that I was there vending and selling yarn. I had a lot of yarn with me and a lot of yarn to tote all the way there, so maybe I was thinking don't bring more yarn home, I don't know. But there was one person that I could not resist buying from, and that was, or people, that was the gorgeous Weku yarn, and that is all yarn hand dyed by my lovely friends Lydia and Hannah. I've known Lydia from a knit night, a virtual knit night that we're in, a weekly virtual knit night for a little while, and she is a all-round lovely person, and then met Hannah for the first time there as well, and she's lovely too, and they also dye gorgeous yarn. So I grabbed a skein of Ensho, which is ocean, and it's beautiful. Look at those speckles, and the plan is, I'm just very slow on catching up with things, so Lydia, if you see this, I have not forgotten the plan, if you're still up for it. I've got this skein of their yarn, and then I am going to dye up a solid colour, and I'm going to use this as the contrast for a colourwork sweater. And Lydia got a skein of my yarn and was potentially going to do the same thing, so that would be so fun. But yeah, Weku Yarns in Ocean, and I just love it. And then I had to grab some minis because I have a mini obsession, and I got these 3 from their stall, and this one looks really tatty. It was not like that from them. It got a bit tangled up in my bag. It wasn't like that from them. But yeah, this gorgeous colours. Oh, gorgeous colours. Oh, gorgeous colours. I don't know what the colourway names on these ones are though. But yeah, I grabbed these from Weku Yarns, and it was their first in-person show as well as me. Like, I had Perth Festival of Yarn for last year booked, but obviously COVID cancelled it, so I didn't make that one. So Unravel ended up being my first in-person show. I am though going to be vending at Perth Festival of Yarn in Scotland this September, because restrictions are now opening up, so that's very exciting if you are up that way at all. So next thing to show you is, I hope I'm saying this right, Namolio. Okay, Namolio was the stall next to me, so I was sitting there staring at their stuff the entire time, and they had it was a lovely couple there, and then their gorgeous dog, and so that instantly wins extra points with me because you have an animal. She very kindly gave both me and Sharon some gorgeous knitting cards with envelopes in there. This one's my favourite. I love that. And so if you win a prize from me on a giveaway, because I have got some giveaways coming up, you may well get one of these little cards with a little note from me in there, because that's what they're going in for. And I bought from Namolio a couple of times. Sharon broke the seal. She started buying stuff from them, and that was it. It was like, it gave me the permission. Just take them out of their bags, the things that I got. It gave me the permission that I needed to go and buy some things. So they were selling these little bits of linen fabric, which are perfect for little bits of embroidery, and they were selling them in, like, they're assorted pieces of 100% linen. That whole roll of little pieces was £2, and then this whole roll of little pieces was £3.80. So I don't know how much that roll was, but this roll was £1.60 for all these little bits, and I was like, that would be perfect with some lovely little bits of embroidery that I could then put together and put on a bag potentially. Again, remember, I seem to collect hobbies. Where I think I'm going to get all the time to do all these hobbies, I do not know. I instantly wanted to start, it was £2.20 for this roll, because I've got the sticker here. I instantly then wanted to start embroidering something. I don't know what I was thinking of embroidering, and I was sat on my stall while I was doing it, so I didn't have a lot of time. I didn't have a needle, so I went and got in fact, I'll take that out of there because it's not on a string. I went and found this, because I also always need a needle for sewing in my ends on knitting projects. This was the only set of needles, only needles of any kind. I couldn't find any embroidery needles. These were the only needles I could find at the whole unravel. I was walking round and round, and I don't know who I got them from, and I feel awful. They were in this little tin with this logo on the front. Anyone knows who that is? I would love to know. But I bought these and then started having a play around, which instantly I didn't really like, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that. But now I've got home with all of the rest of my real needles, hopefully things will start up again. But yeah, I bought these little bits of linen, all of these. I don't know how much linen I thought I needed. And they also sell linen thread. So this is natural flax wet spun 5-ply, so you can take those plies apart to make a thinner thread if you need to. And you get 130 meters or 140 yards in a 25-gram little bundle, which is obviously, they look like they're wound on a ball winder and then squished. Perfect. And I went a little bit crazy because I wanted enough to be able to do little flowers or trees or just, I don't know. I had lots of ideas. When I sat there, I just kept looking, and they have this gorgeous sheen to them. In fact, that one looks a little bit different. This one's a 2-ply. I think it's the only one like that. The rest are all the other types. Oh no, that one's that one as well. So these ones are all the 5-ply, and you can obviously pull those plies apart. So I have all those ones, and these ones, which are natural flax wet spun, same, just 2-ply instead. 25 grams, you get 240 yards because obviously it's only the 2-ply, and they have a real sheen to them. So those ones as well. So those were all from Namolio, who was just the nicest next door booth. They were absolutely lovely, and I think that was everything. I feel like I've forgotten something, but I don't think I have. So yeah, that was my haul from Unravel. So now I'm going to have a little recap of what's gone on over the last week. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about East Anglia Yarn Festival, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the shop and things like that, and then I'm going to be done. So if you are leaving me now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. If you're staying with me, let's crack on. This week has been, I want to say, uneventful. I always get to this point and I'm suddenly like, I don't remember what's happened in the last week. I am back to cleaning 1 day a week for my grandparents and just going over there and helping out with anything, which is lovely to be back with them, but also has taken that time away from my business. So I'm back to working in the evenings as much as I was before, which is fine. And until my children go to school is probably just how it's going to be. It's nice to feel well enough to go and do things like cleaning and stuff like that, because I haven't, after the whole hospital debacle and all the stuff. I'm still a little bit tired. I still don't feel like I'm 100% back to normal after all of the recovery, but I'm so close. Like, it's just little things I'm noticing. So really, yeah, it's nice to be getting back on track after the worst month of my life. And then other than that, Ellie had a swimming lesson, had great fun again. Oh, I really genuinely have just worked, entertained my kids, took them to the beach, little things like that. Chris is at work all the time, so just me and the kids the rest of the time. Bit boring, but one of the biggest things that's happened in my life is that we have put up the dates for East Anglia Yarn Festival. So EAYF, as it's called for me because it's such a long mouthful otherwise, will be going ahead on the 26th and 27th of March 2022, because it's 2021 now. 2022, and we are taking over the Holiday Inn at Norwich Airport. It is a largish hotel with big event spaces. We had looked at a lot of different event spaces. I really wanted to settle on a hotel because I wanted to be able to grab somewhere with rooms, accommodation, on-site catering, and hopefully lots of parking. Well, because we're at the airport, we've got over 200 spaces in the car park itself, but then we're next door to the short stay Norwich Airport car park with hundreds more spaces. And when I say next door, it's literally there. You can park there in less than a 2-minute walk and you're in the venue. We have our own entrance separate from the rest of the hotel, and the spaces are big, and most important thing, they are all accessible. Some of the venues we looked at were perfect size wise and had the parking, etc, etc, but weren't all accessible to everybody because places had broken lifts and you could only get to them by 2 flights of stairs, and there has been a lot of conversation over the last few months, but we settled on this venue, paid a deposit, and then we're just getting the confidence up to share the information and the dates and things like that, which we did on Friday. So you can follow the Instagram account East Anglia Yarn Festival. You can find on there, whether or not you have Instagram or not, you should be able to see it, and you can find the link on there to apply to vend. So if you are a vendor, if you make, sell, have anything that you would like to share at East Anglia Yarn Festival, applications are currently open. They are going to be open until the 1st of September, and then we will start contacting vendors. And yeah, we're a big space. We are very much going with the go big or go home mentality. We want this to be the festival of our dreams for East Anglia, and to really pull it out of the bag for all our lovely East Anglia customers and customers from afar. But East Anglia doesn't have a big yarn show, and I think they deserve one. So yeah, if you are looking to vend at shows, and we're not just looking for yarn dyers, you know, bag makers, anything that you think, like I've seen lovely ceramics, I've seen lots of other little bits and bobs, anything that you think would appeal to yarn crafters, we'd love to hear about it, so please do let us know. So those went up. That was a big step for us. I was very nervous beforehand, just to see what sort of reception we would get, because we are starting right from nothing. and it was lovely. We had a lot of really lovely support, and just made me feel so comfortable and happy with all the decisions that we've made. So yeah, East Anglia Yarn Festival is a goer. I still can't believe it. Anyway, on to shop stuff. So last Tuesday night, I got together the last few bits, and DIY yarn kits are back for sale in the website. There is only a few there, and when they're gone, they are gone, because I'm not ordering that dye anymore, or those exact colours anymore, because I just don't use them an awful lot in my day-to-day dyeing, because I have a lot of different colours, a lot of different dyes, and that isn't one that I stock all the time. I've changed up a lot, so there is minimal kits there. I think there might be 5 or 6 kits up in the shop. So if you fancy having a little go learning to dye yarn, for me, when I first started dyeing yarn, it definitely gave me a realization of how much work goes into yarn dyeing, and I'm glad I loved it because it's totally changed my life. But it made me really see and be thankful for how much work people go through to create the gorgeousness that they bring out there. I'm kicking my tripod, sorry. If you'd like to have a little go and create yourself a little bit of something special, then those are up in the shop now if you would like a try. I don't know if I showed these last week, but I also have some scissors. There we go. So these scissors, which I feel like are upside down, but maybe they're not. These scissors went up into the shop the other week. I've got a pair here actually out of the packet that I've been using, and they're just really ornate and sweet little scissors. They're nice and sturdy, they're very sharp, and I love them. I just think they're so pretty, so cute, and I wanted some for my knitting bag, so I bought them and bought in a few extra pairs just in case anybody agrees with me. I think they have a sort of Victorian look to them, a little bit of a vintage vibe, and they're floral. But yeah, so those are up in the shop. And then in terms of yarn, thank you so much to everybody who shopped my last shop update. I'm so grateful. I know it's been a really hard time for yarn dyers in general over this summer, especially with everything starting to open back up, and a lot of people are, you know, going on UK holidays or abroad holidays, and just have other things to spend money on that isn't yarn in this heat, and I do appreciate that, but it's my livelihood, and every single one of those orders that's come in I have appreciated more than ever, so thank you so much. There is still a few odd sales gains in there, not very many to be honest, but there is a few left if you would like to grab one. I have everything I think that is behind me and above me is in the shop at the moment. I have lots of sock sets left and things like that. And oh, Scrappy Club. So Scrappy Club for July was Schitt's Creek themed, and that all shipped for the end of July and should be arriving with people, or have arrived already to be honest, in the sort of this week. I know a lot of people received them today, and I do have a couple of spares. I think now I popped my spares up the other day on the website. I won't show them because I know most people won't have had them yet, or a lot of people won't have seen them yet, but there is some of them are sold, but there is still a 5-gram set which is £12 and a 20-gram set up on the site if you'd like to grab them as a mystery before you see them anywhere. I've made a couple of spares, so those spares are up there if you'd like one. And if you haven't signed up but would like to for the Scrappy Club for August, so what I'm talking about is my Scrappy monthly club, and you get 10 colourways all dyed with a show in mind, with characters, clothing, quotes, whatever from the show as my inspiration. And it was Schitt's Creek last month, and August is The Walking Dead. So the sign-ups for, you get a coordinating stitch marker as well, but the sign-ups for The Walking Dead month, which is August, will close on the 5th of August, so 2 days, and then they'll ship by the end of the month. On the 5th of August, September's club will open up, which is a brand new TV show that I'm not going to tell you what it is because spoilers. It'll be announced on the 5th, and that's when The Walking Dead will come down and the new show will go up. So if you fancy that, those will be on there as well. I think that is everything that I had to talk about. I can't think of anything else. It is now the end of my working day. It's like 3 o'clock, 3:15. I have to go and get my children from my mother-in-law's, and then I have no more childcare for the week, and yeah, let the mayhem ensue. Yeah, if you've got all the way through nearly 33 minutes of me rambling, then thank you so much, and I hope to see you again next week. I'm going to try and keep making this regular because I really do like coming on, just having a chat. The editing has gone majorly down. I'm not putting on the little musical bit at the beginning of the podcast anymore, and nothing is appearing on screen, and that is just because it was a choice between podcasting or not podcasting. Podcasting and editing hasn't been an option for a while. Just don't have the free time, but I didn't want to not podcast because I enjoy it too much. So editing has gone out the window, probably until both of my children are at school. Ellie starts school in September. Alfie doesn't get to go to nursery until the January, not next January, the next one, January 2023. So that is when I will have regular, like, proper childcare for both my children, and he probably won't go 5 days a week because I'd like to still have a day at least with him in the week. Ellie only went 3 days a week, so yeah, it's going to be a while till both my children are in school and I have a bit more time to work on editing and things like that, but it'll come eventually. I'm going to try and cherish every minute up until then. Anyway, if you have got all the way through this with me, then thank you so much, and thank you as always for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.